Have you ever wondered what the source of all your problems are? Well, let me tell you, it's them damn Irish folks. Now, let me explain. Deep in the bowels of government, there lies a shadowy cabal of no good, for nothing, beer peddling pale redheads. Short and quick witted, these drunken fools are. You have to ask yourself a question, dear Western man. A question known as the Hibernian Question. What is Hibernia? It is a frozen hellhole of a land. The Romans had no use for it, but they did at least name it. Hibernia means land of winter. That frozen hellhole no civilized Roman would conquer. A land of barbarians. Oh, how times have not changed. They worship a bumbling fool known as Maewyn Sucat, otherwise known as Saint Patricius. He started a religion called Catholicos. They call their god Dia. The world must awaken. They must be stopped. The enemy from within, or they will destroy the world, and we will be sloshed like the average Irishman. Their plan is known among scholars as the inebriacalypse, or the Great Sloshing. The only way to stop them is to send everyone to an AA meeting and put every man, woman, and child on antabuse, or death to the Irish. A cold wasteland the creatures known as the Hibernians came from created a grotesque people, short and mysterious, like an eldritch horror. With a despotic grin filled with red whiskers growing upon their neck, they look like no other human on earth. They are pale, like the cold snow their land was named after. They have red hair, the color of freshly spilt blood. Their hair is so colored because of their devilish desire to drink the blood of Christian babies. Their eyes, blue as the sky, is where their evil deity known as Dia resides. These creatures have no love of daylight, but beware of the daywalkers, for they are the unholy mixture of their lesser race and that of the normal Anglo-Saxon master race. They can see the great warmth of God's great orb in the sky, but they betray his love. Their clothes, if you can even call them that, are green and drape over their skinny, pale bodies. They all have green hats and suckle upon a pipe. At the end of a rainbow, they hide their hoard of gold, stashed away, for they know when the end times will actually come, keeping it away from the well deserving hands of Anglican families. They drink copious amounts of alcohol in their hovels they call pubs, which they build in the sides of hills. A dirty people that live among dirt and their own filth. They laugh menacingly after each gulp of Guinness and every slurp of whiskey known as Jameson, which is their main source of caloric intake. They act barbarous. They suckle upon the teat of animals such as cows and goats. Sometimes they turn God's righteous creatures' nectar for their own innocent calves into moldy concoctions known as cheese, which they greedily slop up into their black mouths. These fools even eat the domesticated, dirty descendants of the wild boar, the fat and most disgusting of all creatures, the pig. Now back to these heretical beliefs they hold. The worshippers listen to a man in a funny, tall, white hat. They hold a book as holy, which they don't read and can't read because it is written in a dead language. What do the Hibernians believe? They believe in this otherworldly entity called Dia, a menacing creature who diddled a good Christian woman, and she gave birth to its son, who began the heretical faith these Hibernians now believe. I will now describe some rituals that these people, if I do dare call them that, hold. On the day of Dia's son's birth, for some reason, they decorate pine trees and call them no log. They place gifts under them. And when a creepy fat demon that looks like a man dressed in red and white robes comes to visit them in their homes, it devours cookies and drinks milk. And if you were a bad person, it left lumps of coal and socks by a fireplace chimney. Why do they do this? No normal person knows. These barbarous heathens even mutilate the skin of a male child's downstairs parts and force this ritual upon greater society. On their holiest of holy days, they drink their divine liquid known as shanty. They require the shanty to be colored green, like the blood pumping through their insectoid hearts. The reason for their holy day is to celebrate the coming of Maewyn Suket to their cold island. This holiday has corroded the heart of the great United States. We in this great country call this day St. Patrick's Day, the good Christian name for this monstrous villain. Hibernian has infiltrated all facets of human dealings. They are the CEOs and the hedge fund managers of the biggest and most evil corporations. They control the media and twist the minds of good Christian people everywhere with subliminal messaging to make the masses do their bidding. They force their culture on us. They make war to defile us. Even right now, the Hibernian has rigged the economies of the world against the pure Anglo-Saxons. Here's a twisted fact for you. Every U.S. president, except for the outsider, Donald J. Trump, has been tainted by the blood of the Irish. You can even check. Have you ever seen Obama with a skinned knee? No, because they don't want you to know. His blood is actually green. The evil plan the Hibernians have concocted is soon to be upon us. From the very day the Hibernians drew their first breath thousands of years ago, they have been planning the complete eradication of the Western man, from injecting beer and whiskey into our bloodstreams, they call it vaccines, to lower our sperm count and twist the minds of good, virile Western men into incels that can't pass on their good Anglo-Saxon genes. With their market manipulation, they have caused the price of eggs and milk to go up exponentially, causing good Anglo-Saxon families much heartache, which causes stress on them and leads them down the path to becoming dependent on beer and whiskey. The Hibernian cackles at this thought. The Hibernian fat cats on Wall Street, such as Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, siphon off the wealth of the other races in America, especially good, clean Anglo-Saxons. I am sure of what is on your mind. What to do. What to do. When we allow this monstrosity of a people to exist, that is the question I am posing, and one I pray our civilization can answer within my lifetime. If it is not, I fear the very extinguishing of the Anglo Saxon race and the very enslavement of all races for that matter. We, as a society, must come to the terms with the war with which we are fighting. And the name of that war is class war, you dumb fucks. Race has nothing to do with anything. The rich want us dead or enslaved so they can sit on their asses and do nothing. If you believe race has anything to do with anything, then you were the one I was making fun of. You fucking dumbass. Genius!